If you guys have been watching the PPA Masters, a huge new serve rule has been implemented. And what is that?
That is that you cannot drop the ball with your palm facing up. It now has to be facing down.
So a lot of players, including myself, when I serve, I toss the ball up in the air. I do make contact below my hip, but I always toss the ball up. Now what they're stating is that you have to only drop the ball. So if you watch this video, we're going to be explaining the rule and showing you how to make sure that you are serving the proper way and not apparently illegally now.
Correct.
In 2022, at the end of 2022 for the 23 season, I'm pretty sure, they banned spinning the ball with your hand. Now, they didn't only ban spinning the ball with your hand, but now they are cracking down on the way that you're tossing the ball.
And the ball gets released out of your hand. Even if it's not a toss, it's the position of your palm when releasing the ball.
And many high-level servers, including like pickleball, he tosses the ball up in the air. So it's going to affect a lot of people, and we're going to show you how to serve properly.
Woo!
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, let's see how you serve. I'm just going to pay attention. Normal serve, no rules or anything. Okay, cool. So you kind of grip it like a side in a way.
I don't really drop it. I just release it to my paddle.
I wonder if that's legal because you're not allowed to go like this again, but you went like this.
But my palm is still facing down, not up. I'm not
Okay.
going like this. I'm going like, I drop it to my paddle.
Okay, let's see how I serve. Let's see.
Yeah, totally illegal.
Yeah,
for
I
this
definitely
tournament.
do it. And I think for me, it's more like tennis, tossing the ball up in there. Now, when we're teaching beginners and like players learning pickleball, you always want to teach them to drop the ball. And the reason why you want to teach them to drop the ball is because it'll ensure that they make contact below their hip. But as you progress and advance, I feel like this is much more.
Yeah, and I just never got to that level of wanting to have any extra parts in my serve that could cause me to be inconsistent with missing. So I never tried the spin serve. I never tried throwing it up. I only just ever went like this with my hand and dropped it to my paddle. I never did a bounce serve, but I just would drop it from my hand and serve.
Yeah, and when serving, again, you have to make sure the 3 Bs, behind the line, below the ball, and below the hip.
Correct.
So tossing it up, you could maybe hit it. You have to wait, you have to time it. Just dropping, and especially dropping it around your hip, it always ensures that you're going under your hip.
Yes, and then another thing you can think about with your serve, how I said I've only changed a little bit. I did switch from the closed stance to the open stance serve because I feel like I was getting more power and consistency in my serve. But now that people have to release the ball like this, they're going to have to find power and rotation from their hips instead.
Yeah. Let me try that real quick.
Because they can't just rely on the ball
see how it feels.
to do it for them.
So if I go like this, if I go here, I can toss and then I can move my hand. I really think I toss the ball because when I toss the ball, I can turn a little bit after and like load. So watch, I toss, I load, and then I go.
Right, that's
now,
not allowed.
I'm dropping. I feel like when I drop, I don't have the time. Think about when I toss the ball in the air, I have maybe 1 or 1.5 seconds to load. Now when I drop, it goes straight down. I don't have as much time to rotate my body.
You don't, and that's why people have such a problem returning your serve and pickleball serve because they're kind of like using everything they can to their advantage to get a power and speed. And in pickleball and all the rules, they want the points to continue on.
Yeah.
They don't want to get aced on a serve.
Yeah.
Not in pickleball and tennis, it's great, but in pickleball, you want the points to keep going. So we need to take a little power out of you guys and bring it back a little bit so we can have longer points.
Yeah, and this is horrible because I mean, we've been working at the gym at Metabolic so much on our rotations with our jabs and our hooks, and now we can't even utilize a rotation in pickleball.
We can just drop the ball with your palm facing down.
But again, it takes away time. So here's what we have to do. Come over here real quick. I'm thinking if I need to rotate, right? Typically, I'll toss the ball up in there and then I'll rotate. Now, if I drop the ball, I don't have time to rotate. So instead of dropping the ball here and then rotating, I'm going to rotate and release the ball while I'm already rotated.
Is that what I do?
Which I think you do.
I think that's what I do. And that's why it's so consistent. Like I rarely miss a serve because there's not too many parts to it. It's literally drop and hit.
So again, instead of tossing and rotating, I'm going to turn, already rotate, already feel it in my core. Watch out, I don't want to hit you. And then I'm going to go, oh, it still feels so weird.
And you're still gonna have to accelerate through your follow through even more now.
Yeah. I feel like this rule was implemented to take away a certain aspect from tennis players, because tennis players utilize this rotation for their forehand and rotation from the backhand.
I don't think it's that manipulative, but I
think it
also
is.
think it's to continue the points. They don't want people to get ace.
I mean, Jack Sock, Jeannie Bouchard, Donald Young, Sam Querrey, they're all coming into pickleball now, and they're trying to take it by storm, and now we're putting in rules to eliminate that natural rotation that they have, at least on the serve.
Yeah.
And have you ever met a tennis player that doesn't have a good serve?
No.
No. Every single tennis player has a good serve because they get that feel and they have that natural rotation. Like, remember that guy that was playing with Alex? His
Yeah.
serve was the biggest serve that I've ever faced in person. And I think he played college Division I tennis.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a natural movement. So again, if you guys want, you have to make sure you show us. Here we are. People want you to talk more. We're glad that Michelle has a microphone now. So let's hit it, Michelle, and show us how to serve. So what do we got to do?
Feet are square to the court. You don't have to serve like this. This is how I serve.
Or sideways. I'll do it this way and you'll do it that way. Yep.
Okay. And honestly, my serve sometimes is not returned.
Yeah.
Pretty often in the game, which I'm not sure why.
It's because you're so good, Michelle.
Does it give them like off-pace speed?
Maybe.
Anyway, I'm faced square to the court, and I turn my body. I turn here with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't leave it out here. I turn with it. And then as I make contact, I try to drop the paddle below to give top spin. And then I finish with my elbow up, and I rotate through my follow through.
Yeah. And if you're doing a closed stance, I'll do it over here so I can be right. Is if you're doing closed stance, what you're doing is when you drop it, you want your feet to be sideways. I like to think that you either want your back foot behind your front foot or you want them on the same path. You're going to hold the ball out in front, and all you're going to do is just drop the ball. I feel like where a lot of players go wrong on this serve where they just drop the ball is that they slam the ball down.
True.
All you need to do, I like thinking of like a grab claw or something. If you get a prize and then it goes over, right? Mm-hmm. All you do is you release. It's the same exact thing. This is a drop for your serve. It is not this.
And if you want to get anything higher than like a beginner level, though, you're not going to want to hit a bounce serve in pickleball. You're going to learn how to drop the ball to your paddle and hit the ball.
100%. I think the bounce serve is good if you want like a change up, like maybe a change of pace. But honestly, if I'm ever playing a
Not a
high
fan.
level pickleball
No one's
game,
ever done it.
I've never
They're not
seen
doing
anyone, and I would never do.
Because it also adds
drop
another
serve.
element into the serve.
Yeah, and
You're
then
giving it up to someone else.
I feel like I don't know. I've never even tried to hit a big drop serve. Let's say.
You can't.
Yeah, it's super difficult because then you're hitting more up instead of forward.
Correct. Now, I'm going to do a serve, and I want you to tell me why this serve is illegal.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. One more. I was just staring at your beautiful eyes. I couldn't even notice what was going on.
So you weren't looking at my foot.
What was wrong with your foot?
It was on the line.
Your foot was on the line.
Yeah, that's illegal.
So that's another big thing as well. Prior
I might get
to
away with that in the
contact
rack if they're looking at my
or
beauty.
at contact, you cannot hit a serve while you're on the line or over the line. You can reach over the line. That's perfectly fine. You can reach over the line and hit, but your body can't be on top of the line.
And you'll see the big servers like Deckel fall right into that court after he hits that ball. He's hitting the ball, and he's here. He's
Following
finishing
through.
here after he makes contact into the court.
Yeah. And that was such a crazy match yesterday. Like, they were down.
What was it? I don't think I stayed awake for the end of it.
They were down like
Did they come
8.
back?
Tyson McGuffin and Deckelbar played these random people I've never even heard
that
of
lefty
before.
was fire.
The lefty was good, and they were down like 8-0 at first. I kid you not.
I remember it was like 1-9.
Then they kind of came back. It was like 10-5 or 11-5 they won. Then the second game, I feel like the team that lost, I think the last name was Johnson, they lost, or they were up first, and then they just came back. And I couldn't even imagine, if you're like Tyson McGuffin and Deckelbar, you just got Yola paddles, you're signing with them, right? And you have to do really well at this Masters. And then you're all of a sudden down in a pickleball game, so down, the nerves that you have to feel while you're playing. Like, I feel like, okay, tennis, like when you're playing tennis or anything, and I come from a tennis background, okay, I can hit a really good forehand or I can win an easy serve point. Every single point in pickleball, if you're down, regardless of who you're playing, you still have to earn every single point. You're not going
And
to...
you can mess up and give them a point in the rally scoring. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, this wasn't rally scoring
Well,
tournament.
No, it's the Masters. But the thing is you're not just going to automatically win a quick point, for the most part. So you're going to have to dink, 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 and then win the point.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine the nerves are just magnified in pickleball compared to any other sport that I've at least played. I was so
Yeah.
nervous watching,
Yeah.
like the pressure and everything. So you need to make sure, again, and what Michelle said, what's really good, is you have to be behind the line, but then you can get your body into the serve, which I think is huge. And if they're limiting rotation this way by tossing the ball, maybe you can really utilize your momentum to get more power because you don't have that anymore. Let me try it real quick.
Okay.
So here we are. I'm going to drop it out in front again. I'm going to do here. And then when I drop, I'm going to get my body forward.
Also, if you have a really good aggressive serve like Tyler's, what are you going to get out of that too as a team? Like when I play with you, I love it because we know that they're not going to be able to often hit a really deep return off of your serve.
Yeah.
And then you're set up to win the point just on that strong, deep, aggressive serve.
And the reason why, say if Michelle hits a really aggressive serve, if you hit a really good serve, where will the ball go if it goes in? Probably somewhere up here,
Right.
that you can hit a more effective,
Drive.
easier shot, right?
Shot drive.
And then you can get up to the net. If you hit a short serve, what's going to happen? You might get a ball back here, go back there, and then your opponents are going to be even closer and you're going to have a super difficult shot to hit.
Right, so think short serve against a good player is going to give them a deep return, and that's pushing you back off the kitchen, and the goal is to get to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So keep your serves deep and aggressive, but make sure not to break the rules by stepping on the line before you make contact with the ball. Also, don't be afraid to call someone out when you're playing if they are serving illegally.
Yes.
Some new players, they really don't know. Like I was in a tournament and this girl was serving like this. She was coming around the ball. It was like totally illegal. But she was a beginner and I
Just let it
didn't
happen.
want to like make her feel bad and tell her. But if I was her, I'd kind of want to know the rules so I don't get in trouble. Because if you're in a tournament, you're going to get in trouble for it.
Yeah, but here's the big thing that the Masters said on TV. And we were actually, before this video, we were looking at the USA Pickleball rulebook and highlighted in the notable rule changes. And one of them was like if you have an incorrect score. Another one was draping the net. Another one I think was spinning the ball in your hand. There was nothing on this type of serve. And on the PPA Masters, what they said yesterday was that this is a test thing. They're not implementing this everywhere, but they were implementing this on the Masters. So it was actually funny.
Oh my gosh, I think I know why.
Why?
Because all the tennis players were playing.
That's what I said before, and you were like disagreeing with me.
No, I thought you meant because they were coming to the tour, not just for that tournament.
No, but
Jeannie Bouchard stayed at the baseline. She never even went up to the kitchen, and she drove every ball. I was deceased watching
and you said you were talking to your friend at the gym who plays Major League Pickleball, right? And she was
Yes.
saying like, and we saw on Instagram how it was funny. The referees were actually showing the pros how to serve. Like they made all the pros that are playing in the Masters get together and they taught every single pro what was a proper and improper
and
serve.
the rules, and like, oh my gosh, for all these, we'll just keep using Jeannie as an example, but like for all these high-level women's pickleball players who've been playing for 6-8 years and training all the time, and they don't get that spot because Jeannie gets it just because she played tennis.
Yeah.
Breaks
But the
my
amount of
heart.
money though
I
that
know,
she
but it
brings
breaks
into the
my
sport,
heart because these
and
girls
awareness.
work really, really hard to get there, and she's just gonna get beat eventually. But that was quite interesting to
I
see.
agree. And apparently she's still playing tennis too, like pro tennis.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, I think. We wrote an article in our newsletter about it. Make sure you click the link in the description to subscribe and check it out. But
Jack
yeah, it's
Sock looked
crazy.
incredible, and he's a tennis player, but he trains. Like, I feel like, does she even practice
So-
for this? Does she even know what's
I
going on?
don't think so. But I think Jack Sock, he retired from tennis and is full force on pickleball. It's different.
Gotcha.
I feel like Jeannie's still doing tennis and pickleball. Jack Sock's all in pickleball.
I just know
No
a lot of
tennis.
women's players that would beat Jeannie and are much better players than her that could have had that spot, and she should have earned it a little bit more.
Yeah, like the pickle yogi over here, right?
Honestly, from what I saw, I might give her a pretty good game. Maybe not in singles.
Well, it's crazy to see
But-
what her and her partner did, though, because she was staying back, driving every ball,
Yeah.
but her partner was playing super aggressive, and
At
they
the
actually
kitchen.
won a pro level. I think they lost further in the draw,
Yeah.
but they did win a pro
And it
level
has to
event.
be tough to play against that.
And regardless if you like it or not, or being a pickleballer, you
Yeah.
like necessarily like kind of don't respect it that she's driving every ball.
I respect it.
If
it's
it works,
just
it
funny
works.
To see. Yeah, and they lost. And it's probably tough to play against something like that.
And think about it too, you're not used to seeing it. So you have this person come out every single time and blast the ball, and then you have another person cover the net. Like, it's funny, but it wins.
It reminds me of you when you first started playing.
And that's why Ben Johns, he lost against that pickleball Bender or Quang, I think his name is, or something. And he came from tennis and he trained with Balotelli and everything.
Yeah.
And the reason why he beat Ben Johns is because that guy does not drop. He literally does not drop any shot. All he does is drive every single ball super hard. Like, if you see, like, Ben Johns was at the net on match point. Yeah, it was singles, and Ben Johns was at the net match point, and he's hitting every ball like that. Like, there's spin, like, so he'll hit the angles with spin, but there's no drops or any touchy shots. And Ben Johns just had so much trouble, and maybe he hasn't seen it before.
Yeah.
So
I'm here for all of the
pickleball's
money
evolving.
Into pickleball. I'm here for Jeannie Bouchard because she's pretty cool. Remember I got that photo with her at Taste of Tennis?
Oh, yeah. Remember that? Yeah, we met her. Yeah, we got to share. Yeah, you had a picture with her. I forgot about that. Yeah.
She was really nice. I just think it was just interesting for me to see her on my TV playing pickleball.
Yeah.
The way she played pickleball. I just wanted her to do a little bit more, but I guess if she's not practicing and learning, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, 2024, I think is going to be a huge year to see, can tennis players take over pickleball, or can they make it to the top in pickleball? Also, it's cool to see all the different paddles, the brands, the new balls, how the game's evolving. There's so many different factors that they're tweaking right now.
Yeah.
That's going to make it a whole different game. The technology in the paddles, the angles that you can hit, the spin that you can hit. You couldn't hit these type of balls maybe like 8 years ago because you just didn't have the type of paddle.
Technology, yeah. I think that they can make it to the top. They just have to put the time in to train, and I could just tell some people didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, so if you guys have any comments about this video, make sure to let us know in the comments below. What do you think? Will tennis players do really well in the PPA Tour?
And let us know if you have any updates on the rules for the serve.
Yes, and if you are ever playing in a Masters tournament, we hope that you utilize this. And again, make sure you drop and you rotate instead of tossing the ball up in air. So yeah, if you guys are playing in the Masters, this is going to be good for you. 9 times out of 10 though, if you're playing in rec, I'm pretty sure no one's going to call you for going like this.
Probably
But
not.
you're going to have that one person that does though.
And I have one last bonus tip right now. Regardless of all these rules, the best thing to do when you're serving is to work on your placement. Depth, the deeper the shot, and then place the ball to your opponent's backhand. Depth and backhand, and then worry about your form and the rules later.
Yes, if you were in my previous videos, I know the one we just started recording together because you came on the court and we absolutely hit it off, kind of like our relationship when I first met you on the tennis court. But I always say depth is greater than power. This is something that all of the subscribers already know.
It doesn't hurt.
But
to
the
tell them
backhand,
twice.
I like. So again, make sure you do this if you're on the PPA Tour, ever playing in the Masters, or if they implement other events. If you want a Universal Rackets program near you, if you have pickleball courts, you want coaches, if you have a club or a facility that needs a pickleball program, make sure to click the link in the form and a Universal Rackets representative will get out to you. We just tested out these new Selkirk Halo paddles. She has the pink, I have the green, super colorful. If you want a gift card with your purchase, click the link in the description and you'll get a gift card at checkout. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow the Pickle Yogi and Pickleball with Tyler, and that was the best ending video that I've ever had. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crop this and I'm just gonna put it on at the end of every single video because it was so good. Let's go, have a good one, happy hitting, subscribe, see you later.